All righty. Hey, how you doing? It's Eric from Americans Helping Americans again today for Thursday Deals, Thursday Deal Day, the Amp Live Real Estate Show. I'm going to be your host for today. We had a guest earlier today, a young man talking about real estate, creative real estate investing, the things, his story, what he was about. Do appreciate him spending the time to do that, right? So I guess it comes down to, do I have to have 800 credit scores to do real estate investing? No. Do I have to have tons and tons of money? Well, you go faster if you got something, some credit, some money to work with, of course. But creative real estate investing is the magic elixir. Is it? I don't know what else you want to call it. The superhero power. It is a superpower. I can tell you that. That's why so many people are trying to get into it, or they are getting to it. They're spinning their wheels, and they're shiny objects and things of that nature. What I'm going to talk about today is a couple of PSA announcements and talk about a little bit about affordable housing and some of the solutions that are being provided out there in today's market using creative real estate investing techniques and methods, as well as the people that are out there rocking and rolling and doing their thing, and some not, some having a hard time. It is what it is, right? But I know that when you know what you know and you don't know what you don't know, it can be a little frustrating. Trust me, when I got started, it was very frustrating working a full-time gig in a corporate job on a salary of 45 hours, and then eventually working 80, 90 hours a week, which I didn't think was possible for any human being. But I did in my travels as I speak to thousands of people throughout the United States of America every year. One guy said he worked 120 hours in a freaking, how do you do that in a freaking week? I mean, I had to add that stuff up. I go, that's insane, right? But, when you're hungry and you want to, you got goals that you want to achieve, then it doesn't matter, right? Also, the other thing is passion. When you have passion for something, it's not a job, it's not a career, it becomes a lifestyle. That's what real estate really is over a period of time. And yes, you got to have consistency, you got to have discipline, are the two key factors. And the third factor is mindset, right? That's what we talked about a little bit earlier today. How mindset, when you have total control of your mind, then things can get done. When you let viruses in, negativity in your mind, then things can go sideways and this way, up and down. And when you have somebody working with you, it's awesome, because now you have someone who has your back and you got their back, and vice versa. So I definitely understand the power in that. At the same token, people who do come aboard and work with us exclusively through the American Mentee program, they're looking for what? They're looking for someone to help them build their business. Kind of think of it like a McDonald's. You're going to have a franchise, you're going to get the land, you're going to open up the store, and you're going to go ahead and follow their rules for their brand and that brand, but we're creating a brand for you. So you're going to have policies and procedures that are going to work for you, right? And your business, designed basically on what you want to achieve. So today I just wanted to come out here. I'm going to go out later on into the, probably after I'm done here, I'm going to go into the field. It's usually sales and field day. We're looking at deals, underwriting deals, working with mentees, doing these lives here when we can, right? Thursdays, I know we have a schedule. We want to be able to do these at 7 p.m. every Thursday until the end of 2025 and cruise into 2026 with some rock and rollness. At least that's the goal, and that's that's on the table right now. Public service announcement for that. We do have a public service announcement for our mentees. We are looking for mentees to work with. So you're going to see some QR codes. I would say scan those, sign up, and join. Join today. Simply because, look, there's no other program on the planet like it in regards to what we do with the one-on-one mentoring. Some people may say, yeah, it's a hybrid of this or that. It's not. Look, we've been doing this for pretty long time. And in regards to just creative real estate investing, period, and then launching Amp Live, the American Mentee program, several years ago, and just tapping into that and working with people and working with, these companies and marketing companies and brokers and agents and things of that nature to, to help them, and vice versa. If we can offer those resources to you as well, then, hey, you're not trying to figure something out, right? You're not trying to watch tons of videos and taking up all your time. You want to launch a business, right? You want to plug and play a business. You want people that are going to execute and really help you, ones that are in the business and kicking ass and rocking and rolling with you together. That's the American Mentee program. Powered by Amp Live Media, a media broadcasting and marketing company, sponsored by VIP Execs Realty and Lending, Step into Excellence. So those things will be shared today. I'm going to share a couple slides here and there. Obviously, my name is Eric Jimenez. Yes, I'm as American as apple pie. That is my jam. I am a proud American. I am a patriot. This is what I love. In God we trust, and things of that nature. I'm not afraid to share it. At the end of the day, right? That's what America's about. Freedom of speech, the First Amendment, and the Second Amendment to protect our First Amendment, right? And then we got what, obviously, the Constitution and all that other good stuff. And so, there's things to protect us to a degree at the end of the day. But this is all about real estate, right? What does real estate, politics, and God have to do with any of this? Well, they all intermingle together, regardless of whether you want to admit it or whether people want to speak about it or talk about it, or should we talk about business and politics and religion and all that good stuff? Look, it's life. So what are we really talking about? We're talking about life. Life in general is what we're all about, right? Preservation, all those things that we are wanting to do for our families and our friends and to build a legacy. Trust me, I understand what you're feeling probably if you're frustrated and you're trying to do this business. Or maybe you're rocking and rolling and you're saying, hey, maybe I can grab a couple of awesome tips off of myself and others, because you're always learning in real estate. The market's always adjusting, and you always have new rules, new regulations, new laws, new things that are going to come out, and you have to adjust and adapt and rock, I say. Some people adjust, adapt, and then they perish. Like a lot of real estate agents are getting out of the business. Hey, come on back. If you're a real estate agent and you're having a hard time, come and talk with us, chat with us. I know what it's like. I used to do that stuff before a long time ago. It's part of our VIP Executive Realty and Lending, right? And then you got to have the best of both worlds, right? If you're a real estate agent, I never could figure out if you're a real estate agent or a broker, why would you not do some real estate investing, right? I don't get it. And vice versa. And some people go, well, if you're a real estate investor, why wouldn't you become an agent and a broker, right? It just depends on what your flavor is, right? I guess if that would be the word for it, I'd be like, what do I want to do? Do I need to get a real estate agent license to be able to do real estate? Do I need to just stay in the private sector and not go that route? I'll give you some advice that I heard from a gentleman who, God rest his soul, right, had about 20-something offices in Southern California, and very successful, lots of money. And I think they were doing like 20 million, in volume a year or whatever. I mean, that's like business-wise, office and all that good stuff, and people and family, and a lot of agents. He said this, Eric, we're doing your real estate investing stuff is awesome, but you're going to make a lot more money when you become an agent or a broker. Most likely the broker, because you're going to obviously make money as a broker when you have a real estate office. And that's the direction that he said that I needed to do. And that's where I should be going. And, everybody's different. You're either going to listen or you're not going to listen. And you have to figure it out yourself, right? Some people are stubborn. I'm a stubborn guy, right? And everybody's going that way and the sheep in the herd are going that way. I'm going to go this way because I don't want to, I don't want to smell a fucking sheep's ass, right? I don't want to be stuck along with a bunch of other sheep. I want to think for myself and go in that direction. Then I'd rather go with a bunch of mavericks. So that's kind of what we are here. We're mavericks, right? If you're a maverick, you're always going the opposite direction. You're always going, man, there's a better way. There's a faster way. I think I can go this route instead. This is what I need to do. As long as you're coachable, you can follow directions, have a leap of faith, right? Punch your way out of a paper bag. Perfect fit then, right? It doesn't take too much because we're going to help you with all that good stuff, right? I'm going to help you with that. Our team's going to help you with that. As you saw with Victor and other people, there's going to be a link and a couple QR codes. Definitely scan it. Take and sign up today. Take advantage of that, right? I wish I had what we're offering when I got started. And sure, there was gurus out there, and every guru's going to hit the cycle of, this cycle. Not too many are going to make it to the next cycle and next cycle. This is what it is. Usually every cycle, one or two gurus will squeeze out and still make it, right? But that's the business. And there's people that are in the business. They don't want to do any of that. They just want to fly under the radar. They want to do their deals. They're creative real estate, or they just want to go all cash or multifamily. It doesn't matter. Real estate is not going away. I know when I got started, and I thought in my mind when I was a young kid, after wanting to do what career I wanted to push, right, which was obviously the music business and things of that nature, I said there's two things that human beings need. Because I go, if I have to have a job, it needs to be a job in what? I had to either figure out, well, two people need to survive in this world is food and shelter. So I'm like, okay, I didn't think I was smart enough for the real estate stuff. And then the computer stuff, telling, hey, go become a computer person and programmer and engineer. And I go, I'm not smart enough for that. I don't think so. Or it's going to be too damn boring for me because my brain will explode, and that's not what I want to do. So usually you got to go with your passions. You know who you are character-wise and what. But sometimes, like I've learned in the past, you have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. And then when you get too comfortable, you got to get off your ass and get uncomfortable again. It's a cycle that has to keep on rolling, kind of like consistency, right? And discipline and working out. When you work out, you start liking it, you got all this energy. But if you start not working out and you stop doing that and you start popping Doritos and not Cheerios, but I don't know, food you shouldn't be eating, right? Then you start seeing the gut expand, right? You start getting lethargic and stuff, right? And you're like, what? Am I hearing stuff? I thought I heard something. Was that God? I'm just kidding. God's chatting to me in my brain. No, I'm not crazy. Soda right here, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and share a couple more things with you. But I think I'm not sure if we have anybody jumping on. I think they had to do a couple things. Okay, yep. So what we're going to do is I'm going to move to this. One, first and foremost, this should help you out. You need motivated seller leads. The Amp Live method to help you, or anything. Get a lot of questions this probably last 3 or 4. What am I looking for? 3 or 4 months. People, I need deals. I need deals. I need leads. I need leads. And then the leads that are coming down the wire, they're writing. The offers are not very good. The underwriting is not very good. They're trying to push and squeeze the limits on deals. I know that, hey, I'll tell you this, 50, 60, 65 cents on the dollar, whether it's repairs or not, you can sell that. And I guarantee if you get a good deal, juicy like that, buyers will come out of the woodwork. Heck, we'll buy it from you, send it to us, we'll underwrite it, take a look at it. If it's at 50, 60, 65 cents on the dollar, we don't have to worry about minus repairs, right? We can. If it's built in 1970s, 80s, probably 90s. If it's built in the 2000s, easy peasy. Don't give a shit, right? Because the bones are good. Everything else is good. It's going to be carpet tile paint or carpet, that's just an expression. It's usually some pergo flooring or just some flooring that's nice in today's market. You're going to go some quartz or not, depending on the area and the demographics. But motivated leads is what you need, right? Free and paid. So there's always, and depending on how you get your leads and what you do for your leads, it's super important. We had a conversation earlier today about a young lady who was rocking and rolling with, trying to find these deals, right? And it just depends, right? Data is good data, bad data. If you find the good data, cool. If it's outdated, a day late, dollar short, you might want to start looking at stuff. I will tell you that PropStream has some good data for your pre-foreclosures. Property Radar has some good data and believe it or not, I was like, they were out of it for a long time. But even when I used them in the last cycle, they had good data, but they only had 5 states. So they had to catch up and they disappeared for a while because everybody else was saying, hey, they used to lock up their data too. It's like, man, I want to print paper for everything. Come on. They got to adjust and adapt or they almost perished at the end of the day, right? They almost disappeared. But scan that QR code right there. I'm going to pop my mug up here so you can see my face and scan the QR code. Definitely book some time. If you have some issues, you're having some problems, kind of like a doctor, that's kind of how I perceive myself. I'm a creative real estate investing expert. At the end of the day, when you bring a deal to the table, we're going to underwrite it. We're going to look at it and determine what type of exit strategy is going to be best for you, right? And we look at every deal that way. Even when we're buying our own inventory, going after our own inventory, we're going to look at the deal and go, where are the problems? How do we provide those solutions to the problems? And where is the money? And how can we structure a deal? Whether it's, big fat juicy deal or a tight marginal deal, or we're just helping out our fellow American, almost like a little bit of charity, but making a couple of bucks here and a couple of bucks there and helping up an agent and things of that nature and helping a seller sell their home, right? Because it's super, super important I'm going to pull something up here and I'm going to share it with you. It's going to be this right here. All right, so take a look at that. Let me see if I can bring this up here in this fashion here. We'll go here. So you can see that, right? Let me do this. Oh, wait, maybe we'll go over here and do this instead. 92. Nope. We'll move it over here. How about that? No, we'll go right here. A little bit bigger. Okay, cool. So we buy houses, ugly ones too. Cash your term, sell your house fast. Super important, right? Now, if you got friends and family, or people, or you're trying to figure out, hey, you know what? I need some help with this pre-foreclosure. I need some help with this probate deal. I need some help with any type of deal where there's a stress situation, there's title issues, there's whatever, heirs that want to get paid, that, it's all screwy Louie, the property's in a trust, it's not in a trust, maybe they die past intestate, or maybe, it's just a baby boomer says, man, look, I'm tired, I want to sell my house, I try to sell it. I sold several homes in my, in my lifetime, but I don't want to mess with an agent and I don't want to do any repairs. No problem. Look, it's all about adapting. It's personalities, right? You're going to wear different hats when you're talking to certain people. That's the art of the deal in the Amplified method, right? So send over those people, send the telephone number, send over whatever whatever information you can. We'll work it with you. And if we can help out that seller, then we'll get you paid and we'll help them move their property or do whatever needs to be done. That's the essence of AHA, Americans helping Americans. One American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, right? Doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America. Boom, almost like a car commercial, right? But as you can see, no commissions, no closing costs, written guarantee. That's right, within 24 to 72 hours. Pay zero cost, never an upfront fee. So we're not going to charge anybody an upfront fee. We don't do any of that shit. You're going to sell your house today. Even if it's under contract and you want a JV, then we'll work with you on it. We have solutions and we can help. We're very, very confident in being able to do that. I'm going to go over and do this real quick so you can actually take a look here. Let me see what we got. Boom. Is it right there? Oh, maybe it's right there. Let's do the 3, right? So you can go to that website right there that you see. And at the end of the day, this is what we're doing, right? So we are looking for properties, inventory across the United States of America. What I want to talk about is affordable housing and the solutions to that, right? There's a lot of stuff that's rolling with affordable housing, right? And from the same great person where I got the advice from, where he said, hey, you can make a lot more money by having being a real estate investor and becoming a broker, and then getting offices and rocking and rolling, become a multi-gazillionaire, if that's what you're wanting to do, is the other piece of advice he gave me was before he was talking about it before he passed, right? It was pretty awesome. And he's talking about property in San Diego, Southern California. We got all these warehouses, and we got office space, and there's other places around here in Los Angeles where they're not developing, new land. It's you got to tear it down, rebuild, right? But how can you repurpose it? He was talking about stuff that was happening in the crazy UK, right? We're stacking people up high, and you got a bunch of people in there with affordable housing. Some people are calling it now, right? Split pad or pad split, or co-living, things of that nature. It's kind of like a hybrid of what used to be just called roommates, right? But using different contracts and agreements. Some people using hotel contracts, some people using different type of contracts, or a hybrid. And they're actually, you got 5 rooms, they're turning them into 10 rooms, right? Or maybe there's 5 rooms and you turn them into 10 rooms, and maybe out of the 10, 5 have toilets, right? So, chopping up them bedrooms and doing all that stuff, it's fine if you can get it done and there's no ordinances with, occupancy of men and women or the amount of people that you can have in a freaking house, then you should be good to go. And I'm sure that's obviously a trend. But Mr. Bruce said, hey, that's what we need to do. That's what we need to knock down those and put these millennials and, the new youngsters and professionals and stuff into properties like that. But then even then, not just renting them, but being able to sell them and rent them, right? So it was pretty, the gentleman was like ahead of his time always. Was pretty awesome. But that's called thinking outside the box, right? And obviously he was able to do that because he did, even though he was still hands-on in his brokerage, which is a beautiful, lovely thing. God rest his soul. And that's kind of what's happening now. You're seeing a trend, right? People are selling courses, or they're doing stuff and saying, hey, you know what, grab a property. And it works perfect for properties that are 4, 5, 6 bedrooms, right? Because usually, like in Downey, they did that probably the last cycle, 15, 20 years ago, or 10, 15 years ago, where they buy one house, knock it down, they buy both lots, and then they build a big ass house. Now that house, you're not going to be able to sell in the open market because you have to stay there forever until the market catches up, right? But people wanted big ass houses in that area for whatever reason, because they can get them cheap and they can tear them down and build a big ass little mansion. Same thing in like Tustin and Irvine, and those places were doing the same thing, and they're still doing that stuff. Now I'm seeing a lot of condominiums, and they're taking land and tearing down houses, and even commercial stuff and industrial stuff. I think myself and Liz drove by this airport. It was an airport at one time. Shit, they're buying up that land, and they're going to turn it into giant condo complexes, right? With the pools and everything. It's like giant living communities. Kind of the stuff that Cardone's buying these days, right? But they're building it from scratch, from the bottom up. So things are changing in the industry. Super important to be able to adjust and adapt, or you will perish. As I always say, rock and roll. But here we go with this here. As you can see, the little graphic here We buy houses, ugly ones too. Now, it doesn't have to be just houses, right? It could be houses, it could be farms, it could be land, it could be commercial property, it could be multifamily, it could be storage units. It doesn't matter, because real estate's real estate. And once you have the basis and the foundation, and then you understand creative real estate, you can work any type of deal, whether it's $40,000 or $40 million. It works the same to a degree. 40 million is going to have a lot more moving parts and a lot more zeros than a $40,000 property, right? But the principle is the same. The basics are the same to a degree. You have to do a little bit more work, of course, right? You got to do more diligence. You got to be more strategic in what you're doing with a $40 million deal, or even a $400,000 deal, or a $4 million deal. Depends, luxury property, commercial, it doesn't matter, right? But if you're taking, there is a difference from single family and commercial, multifamily, right? You have to be able to know what to do when you're doing those types of things, right? So we'll work with you on that if that is your jam and your goal. You can scan that QR code to lock in a spot there. I will share this with you as well. We kind of went through some of this, right? Creative real estate, boink, there it is. Creative real estate investing, how to get off-market deals, right? Now, even if you're looking for the affordable housing, maybe you could, I always say, look, go after the properties, and if one that comes up, it's a 4, 5, 6 bedroom property, then go after it. It's either going to be assisted living, or it's going to be a co-living property, sober living, or maybe an autism house of some sort, or even Section 8, right? It's better than, because the long-term rental, let's say, for example, if it's long-term rental, you get $3,000. If you do co-living or any of those other strategies, I'm not talking about Airbnb, put that to the side. The bottom line is all these other extra strategies that are like a business on top of a business, right? You got the land, then you got the business on top. And there's more moving parts, obviously, and you have to get licensed for certain things. There's more regulations, things of that nature, but it's okay because the money's there, right? Instead of $3,000, wouldn't you rather make $20,000 or $30,000 a month on something like that, right? And people shouldn't be afraid of California. Don't be afraid of California. I get it, right? To the point is, if you have something like that, it's different, right? You got government dollars, you got private dollars, you got dollars coming in a different situation, right? So yeah, you got more doors too, you got more beds, you got more checks coming in. So think about that. It's obviously a beautiful, lovely thing, but how do you find these off-market deals? Well, it's going to be either surfing for deals like what we do, which I'll share with you a little bit later. It's easy, it's free. Just get to send us some information, or shoot us the text, or click the link or whatever, and grab it. It's free for now. You can scan this QR code right now. Take advantage of this. If all this information is like, clicking to and clicking in your mind, you're going, you know what, man, this is what I want to do. This is what I've been wanting to do, or I've been trying to do this, and I haven't had any luck, or I've been spinning my wheels, and I'm not just sure what I need to do. Well, today's the day. Today's the day to say, saving grace, the leap of faith, moving forward, scan the QR code, lock in your spot, because it's not going to be around forever, especially this right here, what we got here for the 6 weeks of one-on-one mentoring and 3 months of coaching, okay? And this is going to help you get your first deal, second deal, third deal. Or maybe you've done some deals, but they just weren't quite where you needed them to be, and then you want to move into some fix and flip or buy and holds or some creative real estate investing. This is the day today. Take advantage of that, right? Take advantage of it while it's being offered to you. Scan the QR code, and we'll chit-chat, we'll talk, and we'll move forward. Onboarding doesn't take very long, about 24 to 72 hours. It's a beautiful, lovely thing. And we'll start rocking and rolling together, right? But of course, you're like, hey, how does this work? No problem. We'll talk about that. Not right now, but we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the industry, as well as what we do. So it's not like a webinar. This thing is, if it comes down the wire here, take advantage of it. You see it pop up. Reach out. You can do a chat. Hey, what's up? Call me, text me, DM, whatever. If you have my information, take advantage of it. All right? There's a lot of people. Don't let money hold you back. Don't let your mindset. We talked about that. That's usually the biggest thing, is mindset, fear, doubt. It crushes all dreams. Trust me. That's all you have, right? When we're born, we have dreams. When we're born, we didn't I didn't want to, or other people, even myself, right? I go, hey, I don't want to work a corporate job. I don't want to have to, work all these crazy hours. I don't want to have to work on a salary. I don't want to have to, there's other people. I don't want to be an electrician. I don't want to be a, legal secretary, or maybe it's, maybe I don't want to work at a grocery store, right? Maybe I don't want to be a mechanic anymore. I don't want to do construction anymore. Or it could be when you grew up, did you really want to be a construction worker, right? Did you want to be an electrician? Who knows, right? Some people are like, yeah, I wanted to because my dad was. Okay, cool. But really, was it? No. What did you really want to do? I wanted to play baseball. I wanted to play football. I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be an astronaut, a policeman, a fireman, right? Firewoman, whatever. All those things come to the top of your head. You're like, shit, not being the best version of myself. Let's be the best version of you and us together, all of us, because that's our ultimate goal, is our cause and mission, right? Is to be the best version of ourselves, build a legacy, take care of our families, have the freedom to spend time with our loved ones and our family and friends, right? After all, that's what life should be. After listening to all the stuff that's going on in the current economy, you're like, man, every American should be a multimillionaire, right? But that's not the jam. They have ulterior motives, and they're doing stuff in a different way, through the back door, controlling the masses. So I say, AHA. Aha. Do I get it? Do your research? Yes, Americans helping Americans is the key. Americans helping Americans is the way out. Americans is the Americans as we're helping our fellow Americans throughout the United States. Yes, us, you, and everyone, right? We're able to rise up. We're able to get a taste of what freedom is. We're able to get a taste of what? Of knowing those things, right? And even if you do it once or twice or 3 times, and maybe it's a side hustle of some sort, and you love your job, you love your career, that's cool. But where are you going to put your money? 401k, IRA, equity fund, stocks and bonds. If you're young enough, awesome. If you're not, well, real estate, right? Real estate, right? It's either food or shelter. Food or shelter. Shelter is a better deal. Shelter is less risky, right? It's less riskier than the stock market. Stock market, good luck trying to play the stock market, right? It's like commodities. It's a game, it's a jam. You can make money up and down, up and down, up and down, but you gotta let it ride the wave and keep on rolling. You can't ever take it out. Well, you take it out when you buy down, and when stocks go low, then you spend more and all that. So that is the game. No different than real estate, right? Real estate is cyclical. It's going to go up and down, up and down, up and down, depending on the graphics, depending on the area. Is it mountain real estate? Is it beachfront real estate? Is it in a place where, is it in the path of growth, like the Texas Triangle and stuff like that? Even here, right? Last cycle, nobody would buy shit in Inland Empire. There's a bunch of land and trailers. Now, look at Temecula was a shithole, right? Just a dirt. There's nothing there. Now it's becoming the second Napa in Southern California, right? Because there's tons of houses, and there's businesses, and the wine and the vineyards and all that shit, right? Opportunity keeps pushing further and further away from East Los Angeles, right? In both directions. But it's okay, right? You keep on rocking. But when you know what you know, doesn't matter what area you're in, doesn't matter what state, city, or county you're in the Midwest, East Coast, West Coast, it just doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter when you're working with us and others. If we're a good fit, let's move forward. Scan that QR code right now. Scan the QR code. Take advantage of it. No pickiness or anything. It's like, hey, our whole goal is, if you're hungry and you're willing to move forward and you're willing to follow directions and punch your way out of a paper bag, right, a little bit, All right, here we go. Boom, boom. and have a leap of faith, then I guarantee you're going to get results. Guarantee it. Happens every single time. And that happens fairly quickly, right? So if you're tired of, watching videos for the last 8 months, year and a half, trying to figure out the contracts, what contracts do I use? How do I do this? Do I got a JV and split my commissions, or split this, or do I got a JV and then you don't learn anything? All those things are great, right? You got to start somewhere, right? For me, I'm just a stubborn person. I'm going to figure this shit out. If it takes me until I die and I'm got to get to live until I'm 60, 70, 80 years old, then that's what I'm going to do. That's a commitment. Doesn't mean you got to make that commitment. Maybe it's, like I said, a side hustle. No problem. Maybe you want to, do something that's a little bit different than your career now. Maybe you're tired and frustrated like I was. I'm like, shit, I got to do this. If I don't do it now, then I'm never going to do it. And you got to bite the bullet, right? And you got to stab fear in its face. And then you have to eliminate doubt to move forward. Now, it's a lot easier, of course, right? When you got somebody you're working with like myself and our team, because we're going to help you do that. We're going to help you destroy the fear, help you destroy the doubt. And you're going to we're going to produce faith in you, because you're going to see results. And when you see those results, you're going to go, shit, this is what I needed 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 2 years ago, 8 months ago. Hear it all the time. I think the longest was 5 years, spinning their wheels trying to figure out the business, and maybe $60,000, $70,000 to $100,000 down the road, and saying, shit, this is my last hurrah. No problem, let's rock. Others are maybe 5,000, 50,000, 26,000. We've had people spend that type of money and go, man, why didn't they share that stuff with me? And I am seeing results with you guys within weeks, right? Sometimes it does take months because, hey, for some people are not, they're a little afraid to speak with people. Or maybe it takes them a little longer to figure out how to underwrite a deal. It's not hard. If I can figure it out and use one of these, right, with the calculator on my phone, and I got, what, 10 toes and 10 fingers, I can figure this shit out. You can figure this shit out. Trust me. It's not hard. And they're software these days, right? You just don't want to, and we do it too, is right? We go in with some muscle memory. Go in with a little old school with new school. Because I don't want you to get lazy, right? Because when you get lazy and you make it easy peasy, then you're not going to know how to break something down, right? Manually. Because that's where you become the expert. That's where I'm going to share those things with you. Once you do that, boom, you graduate, cool. Plug in the spreadsheets, your calculators. You can go anywhere you want. I'll tell you where the good and the bad and the ugly of what software is good, what skip tracing is good, what calculators are good and bad, why you need certain things for creative and wholesale and all that good stuff, right? Even the cap rates, people talk about cap rates and they talk about, look, 70 cents on the dollar. What it comes down to is what is the percentage of profit that you're making, net return investment that you're making on the deal. And if it makes sense, and you're making that money, and you're using OPM, other people's money, OPE, other people's efforts, right? OPR, other people's resources. Literally, it becomes leverage. Literally becomes magic. Literally becomes like, shit, I bought this house for free. I did all this stuff for free. Now, people can say, well, OPM, it's the bank. It is. The bank's the bank. It's OPM. It's a person. It's an IRA. It's whatever. Other people's resources. People do it, right? You've got somebody that's going to work for you. They're going to make calls. They're going to do stuff. But we're going to share with you, I'm going to work with you on how to become the expert first. And based on how we do it, the Amp Live method, it's super quick, it's super fast, it's downloaded into your brain until we hit those triggers. Trust me, you're probably going, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. What the hell does that even mean? Triggers, subconscious, conscious mind, blah, 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 blah. Just tell me how I can make freaking money. As we're having conversations a couple of days ago about, right? How do I make money? That's all I give a shit about. Help me with my business. That's all I care about. I don't want the kumbaya. I don't want all this other good stuff, community and stuff. Some people do want it, though. Man, I got to be with people. I got to work with other people. Cool. Whatever it is, the bottom line is the ultimate deal is you. Working on you and helping you become an expert in your field, even if it's a side jam or if it is your jam, right? And real estate becomes what? A lifestyle, not a job, not a career, right? Not a business, but a lifestyle for you to give you the things that you want to get. I saw something that said, if you want to have what other people, if you want to have what other people have, then you have to do what others are not willing to do. So that is the key. You have to do what others are not willing to do to have what they have. You want a Lambo, you got to do some things that, well, that others are not willing to do to get that Lambo or house or luxury property or whatever. You have to rock with those risks. I get it, right? It's either going to take you a longer period of time or you're going to piggyback on experience to move forward. And I say piggyback. Why not, right? I'm an old stickler too, right? Old school, new school. I believe they both work and they all come in cycles. So when the old school is out, the new school is in, old school is back in. When old school is rocking and rolling and the new school is not, guess what? It's the same thing, right? They both work. They all work. But it's good to know and to bounce off when you have experts that are helping with you. And here's the most important part, right? Our success is your success and vice versa. I know it's tossed around all the time, but it's true, right? Because what we're doing here is we're sharing proprietary information with you. We're going to work with you exclusively. And at the same token, we want you to be successful and have a business because that's how we make more money. Doing deals, right? Doing deals, keeping you, as they say, in the ecosystem, our ecosystem. Maybe it's real estate, maybe it's a loan, maybe it's private money, maybe you want to become a real estate agent and hang it with us, maybe you want to become a coach or a mentor, maybe you want to sell the program, maybe you like the high ticket sales, or you're like, shit, is there any way I can open up an office with you and I want to do exactly what you have and just roll it into an office in Texas or Montana or Missouri or Florida or even California, right? And we partner up, just like a brokerage, but a private brokerage, right? that has all these elements. No problem. Let's talk. Let's make it happen. Wouldn't be the first time, right? License out the brand, license out the company to you, whatever, and boom, let's rock. Or we will partner up in JV, a true JV, right? Or we're rocking and rolling business together. So there's lots of opportunities. Mind is always open. The door is always open. I always say if the opportunity is knocking at your door, or the opportunity, the door starts squeaking open, walk through it. Most people are like, shit, do I walk through? Do I go in? Do I turn the knob? You know, the door's knocking. What the hell is that? Do I go in? This is what you've been waiting for, right? If this is what you've been waiting for, then you walk through the door. You open the door. And I know for me, my goal is, look, I'm not getting in, so I had to kick the freaking door in. Boom, I'm kicking it in, and I'm going to make my own way and do whatever I got to do or die. That's different. I don't expect that from you. Not everybody's like that. It's okay, right? You know, some people have a different tolerance for things, right? In business, stress and all that good stuff, right? But this is going to be easy peasy. So stress level is nothing. Just got to show up to the party, right? You got to be able to follow directions, take action. We're going to get results. We're going to talk about those things. We're going to share stuff and help you become an expert in less than, instead of spending 3 to 5 years to become an expert, we're going to cram that into 6 months. And you're going to spin your wheels instead of spinning your wheels for 3 to 5 years, right? In the next 6 months, we're going to rock and roll, or even less than that. Trust me. Probably the first 90 days is going to shave off 1 to 2 years of spinning your wheels. Guaranteed. Happens all the time. Okay? And my goal for you, with your permission, right, is to share that with you. Okay? So scan that QR code right there. Jump aboard before that deal is gone. We got a spring awesomeness promo that's rocking and rolling right now. I've never done this before with this promo. It's always been, you know, one thing, one-on-one mentoring. That's it, bam. And it got coaching programs, right? But this is it right here. Still one-on-one. Jump on it. Take advantage of it. If you need more time, we'll work together for more time. We'll continue to move forward, right, with you, regardless, even when it's over. If that's what you decide to do, we'll give you credit towards that. Give you credit towards the one-on-one mentoring for the main program. All right, now this is the easy peasy one. Scan the QR code. You're going to get one-on-one mentoring along with some coaching. You know, help you get set up with your done with you, done for you type program. So you can get your marketing, you're going to need leads and all that good stuff, right? Don't get freaked out with all that good stuff, free stuff, paid stuff. Now I got to spend an arm and a leg to try to get a bunch of leads. It's fairly economical. But the hard part is putting in the time to make the calls, do the calls, accept the calls, you know, write up the offers and contracts. That should be all the fun stuff. If you frame it right, those are money tasks. And that's what you really want, right? So it is even for me, right? Sometimes you got to frame stuff to go, I love that. I love doing it. Maybe in the beginning, you don't like it, you don't want it, you hate it. But then when you frame it correctly, it's like, oh, this is awesome. And that's just the way brain works. And I'm going to share with you on how to do that, right? Along with, hey, mindset, okay? Think and Grow Rich. If you haven't got the book, it was a suggestion, so I'm going to throw it out there. If you come aboard today, scan the QR code, tell us that you've scanned it and that you've taken care of the hard cash and you're coming aboard. We're going to give you the Think and Grow Rich book for free. I'm going to share with you how I believe you should study it, because as you heard on other lives, or even with Victor earlier, how it helped him change his life. It is a required what? It's required to read and to study when you come aboard. That's just period. That's for the one-on-one mentoring program, okay? But we've always said, hey, skin in the game. Go buy the book. Show me commitment. Show me that you're going to get it, and then tell me that you got it. And I want you to tell me in the first day that you went and ordered the book. That shows that you're real. It shows that you're serious. It shows that you are ready to rock and roll, and you want to rock and roll this business together. But at the same token, hey, sure, we'll get you the book. We'll give you the book for free. And then I'm going to share with you my little report on how to get the most out of that Think and Grow Rich book. How to read it properly, right? How to highlight it properly, how to write in there, how to make that book your own, and how it's going to physically and mentally change your life. Along with myself and Amp Live and the Amp Live method, it's going to help you change your life. And trust me, it happens every single time. Okay, with every mentee that I've ever worked with. I've never worked with one that didn't say, hey, this didn't work, or, you know, I don't like what you're telling me, or this and that, right? Not one time. Knock on wood, okay? So that tells me, and God, that tells me that what we're doing is correct and right. Plus, it's been several years, so it's proof in the freaking pudding. It's battle tested, right? So there's nothing that anybody can tell me any different. Now, is there always a better way to do stuff? Is there always a better way to build a mousetrap? Of course. But this is what we're going to build for you, is a mousetrap that's going to work for you. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Reinvent the wheel later after you got enough mice, right? And then when you got enough mice, then go for it. Start figuring out how to build it faster, better, quicker. Build it out. But what you need right now are the superpowers to make that happen. I suggest that you scan that QR code right now. Let's rock and roll while it's available. We're going to go into the weekend, rocking and rolling. It only takes 24 to 72 hours to get you set up and rolling. That means today is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and by Monday, because obviously Sunday is Mother's Day. So Monday, you'll be all set up and ready to rock and roll. And we're going to kick some ass for the month of May. What more can you say? What more can I say, right? At the end of the day, what do you have to lose? Absolutely nothing. Guarantee it. Once it's here in your brain, nobody can take it away from you. That is the biggest takeaway, as I share with everybody. All right, so check this out. Let's see what we got here. Boink. Okay, so you can get instant access to the Surfing for Deals. That's kind of like driving for dollars, but it's going to help you do what? Do this. It's going to help you surf for deals. Get hundreds of leads each week with less than an hour worth of work. Does it work? Yes. 30-35% response rate. There's some software out there that you can buy and use if you want that. Sure, I'll point it towards your way. But ultimately, it does work. Yes, it's elbow grease. Yes, it takes more time, like everything else, right? There's a saying. I'm gonna quote it. It's probably not verbatim, but it's like work is opportunities disguised in overalls and work, right? So that's just the way it is. I get it. You got to work your ass off. You got to do certain things that you don't want to do. You got to shovel the shit or not shovel the shit or have someone else shovel the shit, but we all got to shovel the shit so we get to know how to shovel shit. And you're going like, well, probably this metaphor is probably not a good one, but it is what it is, right? I'm being truthful with you. I'm being straightforward, and hopefully you respect that. And with your permission, sharing this stuff with you, So here we go with this real quick. I'm going to share this with you that you're going to download this. It's free, absolutely free, Surfing for Deals. You can also book a call right there. Scan that QR code for a breakout call with myself and my team, AHA, America's Helping Americans. And if you like what I'm yapping about and talking about and all that good stuff and sharing with you these beautiful, awesome, powerful things that I'm sharing with you today, then, hey, you'd like to, share it with someone else. Say, hey, I think you'd be awesome on this podcast. I think you'd be awesome on this live or webinar. Hey, you need to talk to this person. Then, hey, share my stuff. There's my one sheet. That's what I'm about. I've been in the business. This needs to be obviously updated because it says 16 years. It's more like 22 years of experience in the real estate investing industry. Creative real estate, investor, mentor, and yes, I'm one of the founders of AHA, Americans Help Americans, and APP Live. Who is Americans Helping Americans? Well, we believe in the American dream and helping ordinary people become extraordinary through real estate. We'll go over our exciting AMP Live American Mentee program that we offer now, right? It's priceless and mentor. Priceless a mentor can be to your career. Oh, okay. Well, I said that wrong, but I guess it's sharing how priceless it is to become or have a mentor work with you, because I know what it's like when I had my mentors, right? And I'm still hunting mentors, right? I'm still hunting the right people to help me expanding and expand my business and do what I need to do by finding the right mentors for me and vice versa, right? I got to be right for them. So it's always an ongoing thing. As you start scaling, you start changing and morphing into the best version of you. That is my goal for you. What is creative real estate investing? Obviously, you probably kind of know what that is, or maybe you do, or maybe you don't. Go to hashtag get Erick Paul Live, hashtag get Erick Paul Live, and figure out, or just Google creative real estate investing. What the hell is it? How can we help you grow your real estate career? Right. Enough with the bullshit that other mentorships offer, right? The books, the courses, the waste of time and money. We offer a new one-of-a-kind way to learn and grow your real estate career. That is the way we do it. We call it the AMP Live method. It's based on muscle memory. It's based on you and I rocking and rolling, downloading all this stuff into your brain until we take that from the subconscious to a trigger to a conscious mind, to your conscious mind. Then it becomes a habit. Think of it as like riding a bike. When you ride a bike, you crash, you fall, bust up your ankle or your arm or whatever until you learn how to ride it. Once you learn how to ride it, you're good to go. You become an expert on it, or even if you walked away from the bike several years later, it's kind of like riding a bike again, right? you're not gonna get banged up. You'll be able to ride that bike because it's in your brain. You'll be able to do it over and over and over. You just got to adjust a little bit, right? And that's it. So to get started, you can reach out. I'm going to put a QR code up here really quick. So you can scan that QR code. We're also going to be doing something cool tomorrow, so I'll probably have a link for that if you want to be part of it. With your permission, of course. See what I got here. Where's it at? Okay. Maybe this is it. I don't know. We'll see. There's a scan right there. Lock in your spot, one-on-one mentoring, the American Mentee Program. That is our flagship mentoring program. Nobody does what we do. It's one-on-one. It's true one-on-one mentoring for 6 months. We're going to partner up with you deals for the next 12 months. It's done with you, done for your program. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick because I think I wanted to share this with you for something we're going to be doing tomorrow. Let me see if this is it. Here's the link to join live in the field. Okay, this is cool. We'll do this on the next one. If you need to get in contact with me, there's my business information. Yeah, 805. You can call that number. You can do the email or just hit me up on AmericansHelpingAmericans.net. Our flagship mother program, AHA, Americans Helping Americans, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others. True one-on-one mentoring. You can scan this QR code right here. Done with you. I'll leave it there for you for a couple of seconds. Then I want to share with you, we're going to go out tomorrow. So tomorrow's going to be out in the field. It's going to be unique. It's going to be different. Something that done, but going back to it, okay? A little bit of old school with new school. And we'll be out in the field. I'm going to share it with you tomorrow. I'm going to put the link up here if you want to be part of that and you're in Southern California. Click the link. Let's rock and roll. Let's break bread. Let's get a little bit of water, a little bit of coffee. Who knows, whatever, a little lunch. Going to get some free training. If you already have some training and you're going, I just want to get some deals. I want to work with people with some deals. I want to work with some closers. Then come on down. It's open to everybody and anybody, whether you're a real estate agent, real estate investor, real estate broker, real estate wholesaler, creative real estate wholesaler. You're a part of this program, that program, don't care, doesn't matter. Come on down. Everybody is invited. Love to speak with you. Love to hang out with you. Love to make some money with you. So this I'm going to pull up next and see if I got the right slide here. There it is. That's I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to say that's for the one-on-one mentoring program, but here we go. Click that right there. There's one. Here's your link to join us live in the field. Click, scan that QR code. Once you scan it, it's easy peasy. It's not going to ask you a bunch of questions. Very simple information. Boink. We'll get in contact with you, and then we'll go from there. It's very easy, simple. Let me see what I got over here. Oh, that's my phone. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. I did want to open this up. It's kind of cool. I did invest in this little book here. But I don't know. Yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. Jumping off subject, right? ADHD kicking in. And food. I need some meat. I need steak. I need food. I'm just kidding. All right, let me see what we got. All right, so this is the first time cracking it open. But even myself, right? It's marketing. Need leads. So there it is. Click that one. This one's a pretty cool. It's the same thing, but I like the graphic. Right? It's pretty awesome. I don't know if I can blow that up or not. Let me see. No? Okay. Well, you got Americans Helping Americans, right? And then the link right there. That's for one-on-one, right? Wholesale one-on-one. Basically says, here's the link live in the field. And that's for door knocking, right? Or we're going to do some free training. And we're going to go in the field. And we're going to provide the list and all that good stuff, right? So definitely be part of it tomorrow if you're available. It's short notice. I get it. But I always say move, right? Action takers move. When you see opportunity, you jump on it, right? Hey, I want to go meet this person. Hey, I want to learn from this person. Hey, they're offering this. Let me see if I can go get a deal. Let me see what this is about. So I challenge you to scan the QR code down below. Let's rock and roll together and see how many people are going to show up and go for it, okay? Let's see what else we got there. Oh, I'm going to share the book with you real quick, so I'll leave that right there. But here's the book. And it has nothing to do with real estate, which is kind of crazy, right? So here it is. Ordered it. Still in the freaking box. Oops, I think I cut the thing because I went like that and I scratched up the book. What is that? I don't like the cover though, man. I guess I'm just a picky guy. Am I complaining? Oh no. All right, here we go. There it is. Traffic Secrets, the underground playbook for filling your websites and funnels, right? It's all about what? Marketing. Marketing, marketing, marketing is the key to everything, the key to selling everything. If you can do that, you will never go hungry, period. If you can learn how to do marketing, and this is like a plug, I get it. What does this have to do with real estate? But yeah, if you learn marketing, you will probably, you'll be able to sell a turd online, right? Doesn't matter what it is, because you'll be able to know how to do it and you'll be able to sell it. So I'm like, hey, Traffic Secrets, sure, no problem. That's what we need to do. There's a lot of stuff we need to do, right? And we're always learning, always emerging, always growing. But that's the book. Has nothing to do with it, but I know that, hey, part of my business with the Amplified Media and what we do in marketing and all that good stuff, media, broadcasting, and marketing company, that is the love that it needs, right? Got to study, got to do it. And yeah, sometimes you got to get in and do the shit yourself, and you got to study yourself to make things happen. And then you find other people that are going to help you. Okay. I know there's marketers out there. There's young guys and gals that are badass at what they do. I can go after them and find them, right? Is that a task in itself? Sure it is. But at least you should know, at least what the game is, right? Learn the rules of the game so you don't get burned, or at least you're not spinning your wheels, right? We all know what we should do, but it's a matter of pushing ourselves to the limit to get those things done or to just execute, right? So hopefully that makes sense. But that was, I'm going to check that one out. We're going to do his thing. It's a little bit different. The other one is actually hardcover, so that's kind of cool. The other ones were paper or soft cover. And we're going to study that all up and go from there. And if you do go out and you go out with us tomorrow and you get an appointment, we're going to give you one of these, right? It's an Amp Live shirt with Americans Helping Americans right there, right there. And they're going to have the Amp Live Media right there. We love to give those to you or give you one, as well as a hat. Yeah, we got some hats too. Had them for a while. But this is what it is, right? American Mentee Program right there. So it's Americans Helping Americans. Join the cause and mission. We'd love to work with you exclusively to help you out, because that's our cause and mission, right? So PMA, positive mental attitude. Keep it positive always. Keep on rocking and rolling. I got some weird stuff going on right there. I'm not sure. It's a glare. That's a weird glare. It looks like a purple glare. There goes the ADHD again. All right, so let me go back to this. So that's that. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up here so you know who the heck you're messing with. Erick Jimenez, who's here to help you, vice versa. And I'd love to work with you. It doesn't matter where you're at in the United States of America. That is my and our cause and mission to help our fellow Americans across the United States of America. Brought to you by AHA, Americans Helping Americans, Amp Live, and the American Mentee Program, Amp Live Media, empowered by, or I should say sponsored by, VIP Execs Realty and Lending. Anywhere in the United States of America, all the world, if you have a license or you want to hang your license, you want that and want to work with that, where you're working with a real estate broker that cares about you, as well as lending, or maybe that's your jam. Maybe you want to do some lending. Maybe you want to do some private money, or want to do some hard money. Maybe you just want to do some loans. Get in touch with me and I will connect you to see if it's a good fit. Everything's all about being a good fit, right? It's no different than working into business and then hiring the right people, right? Got to hire the right people. Got to hire the right personalities. Acquisitions is a certain type of personality. Dispo is a certain personality. Marketing is a certain personality. Admin is a certain personality. That's what I've learned when I was in corporate. I'm going to wrap this up, but here's a pro tip. When I was in corporate, doing the corporate America thing and in management and all that good stuff, I went in there gun-ho, like, bam, I'm just hammering away, a little Napoleon, beating everybody up and talking a bunch of shit, saying this is my jam. This is going to do it my way. I end up doing all the shit myself, right? And then managers start coming down on me and going, what's going on here? We're not seeing the results that we thought we were going to get. So I said, oh my gosh, I got to wear different hats for different personality types. The high, you got the high sales people. I think with the high D people, you got C, I guess they got letters, obviously, right? And there's even personality tests to figure out, what are you best at? Are you behind the scenes type of person? Are you an admin person? And then I'd figure that out when I would say one thing to one person. They're like, yeah, let's do this stuff. And I'd say the same thing to another, and they'd get their feelings hurt, or they'd cry, or they'd whine, or they'd like, oh my God, he treats me so bad. I'm like, that's not the intention. Right? They just took it wrong. It's just that I was wearing one hat for everybody. You can't do that. You got to wear different hats for everybody, and you got to hire accordingly, and people will stick around for a longer period of time. And that's the same thing in your business. Please remember that this is a business, right? You can tire kick it. You can do half-assed it if you want, but you're going to get half-assed results. I say let's dig in, let's rock, right? Let's have some policies and procedures. Whatever you're wanting to do will help you build it within your legacy or within your whatever you're trying to dream up or do, right? All we're going to do is give you the foundation of what needs to happen. And on top of that, it's going to help you make some money. It's going to help you do deals. Because when you do your first deal, I want you to promise me this. If we work together and we do our first deal together, right, I want you to go out and do something you've never, ever done in your entire life. And that's either go spend $400 or $500 on a freaking dinner, take your family to dinner, or go to Disneyland and spend $3,000 or $4,000 or whatever the hell it is, something you've never, ever done, just to get a taste of what it's like to have some freedom and not think about what the fucking, excuse my French, not think about what the check is. Oh, how much is, don't even look at the damn check. Just pay it, okay? Enjoy the time, and then whatever's left over, let's put it back into your business, rock and roll, and keep on doing that. Rinse and repeat. Every win, do the same thing, okay? If you could promise me that, that would be awesome, okay? And I will promise you that I will always be there. We will always be there, and we will never, never, ever leave you behind, because our goal is to help, and that's our cause and mission, right? Is to help you and others across the United States of America. That's our true cause and mission. And you can either believe it or not. You'll know when you talk with me. You'll know when we work together that what I am sharing with you is 100% genuine and 100% truth. So I will say I've taken some pictures before, right? And, with good old God, not with God Almighty, right? But this stuff that was about truth, right? And it said some stuff on the wall, and I go, that's me. That is me. I am the truth. I believe in truth. I share the truth. There's no other way to live. Integrity and loyalty. Truth. Okay? So that is my promise to you. As long as you show up to the party, you're going to execute. You're going to share those proprietary things with you. Scan the QR code. I don't think it's up here, but what do we got? I think it's what? We got Americans Helping Americans, right? Go to AmericансHelpingAmericans.net. I'm going to pull this up real quick so you can scan this, and then I'm going to move on. Appreciate your time. You can lock in your scan that QR code right there. You can also go right there. I believe it's right there. You can register. I believe that's a Facebook group. Boink. Check that out. Also, you can see what we do here, right? Americans Helping Americans. You need to sell your property. Boom. Go to that link or call that telephone number, right? There's a telephone number there. We're good to go. Scan that QR code and let's rock. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate your time. Watch this backwards and forwards and grab all the little nuggets and pro tips that you can. That's what I did. A lot of times when I saw something that I go, man, I like this guy. I like what he's saying. I like what she's saying. And I gravitate towards it and I look for the answers and I do my research and then I'd find my answers, little bits of golden nuggets, right? The things that I can use in my business. That's all I'm doing with you right here. Instead of doing that, let's get together and rock and roll for the real deal. Okay? You'll find that I am the real deal. We'll work together exclusively because I will have your back 100% as long as you have our back. Okay? That is my promise to you as well. So let's make some money. Let's rock and roll together. Scan that QR code. Let's rock and roll. Time to do some deals, right? All right. Bye-bye.